Есть ТДМ спусковой установки. Пуск состоялся.
Ukraine and its allies barely woke up from the horror of the Oreshnik ballistic missile strike, until the Russian bear surprised them by moving the demon Sarmat and raising the readiness of its crews to deliver a multi-warhead strike that Europe's defences will not be able to deter. As Ukrainian defences collapse and fall one by one, Zelensky pleads Trump to save what's left of Ukraine. And Tsar Putin opens the gates of the northern beast Sarmat and prepares for a doomsday war. What is the story of this fearsome weapon, and why the United States and its allies are unable to stop it? Many secrets we reveal to you, dear viewer, in this episode. Stay tuned. Sarmat Multi-Headed Monster. The RS-28 Sarmat is a fifth-generation Russian intercontinental ballistic missile, a breakthrough in the world of warfare and military hardware. President Putin has described it as an inferno capable of wiping out most of the UK or France in one fell swoop and turning it into a radioactive wasteland devoid of life for hundreds of years. It will make Russia's enemies think twice before launching military threats. Moscow began its development project in 2014, and it took 4 years until the first model of the missile was completed, and another 2 years to conduct the first test, as the first successful test was conducted to launch Sarmat from the Plesetsk Cosmodrome in the Arkhangelsk region on April 20th, 2022. The Russian Ministry of Defense then signed a contract to manufacture 50 missiles of the same model, to be placed at 20 different military sites. To replace older ballistic missiles, such as the Soviet-era Voyevoda, it is nicknamed by the Russians as Sarmat, or the King of Missiles, and is known to NATO as the Second Devil. It possesses characteristics that no missile of this type in the world has in terms of speed, orientation, to hit the target while changing its trajectory on both vertical and horizontal levels. The Sarmat RS-28 heavy ballistic missile was delivered to Russian forces months ago and is now fully prepared for any potential nuclear attacks. The most dangerous characteristic of this missile is its ability to carry different types of warheads, including nuclear and conventional, and perhaps the most dangerous are the super warheads known as Avangard. Sarmat carries 10 heavyweight warheads or 16 lightweight warheads, or a combination of light and heavy warheads with independent guidance, capable of maneuvering in the air and flying at subsonic and supersonic speeds. This nuclear payload could cause an explosion 2,000 times more powerful than the nuclear bomb dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, which had an explosive power of only 15 and 21 kilotons. In short, single Sarmat missile can generate an explosive power of up to 500 kilotons, which is enough to wipe out an entire European country, such as Britain, for example, and turn it into a radioactive land devoid of life for hundreds of years, all without the target country realizing that there is an existential threat to human life on its territory until it is too late. How does Sarmat RS-28 missile work? Sarmat is liquid-fueled and launched from secret underground platforms, and the energy reserves allow the missile to fly across the North and South Poles. The rocket is propelled by 3-stage liquid-fueled and hydrogen-powered engines, whose job is to accelerate the rocket exponentially from 9 Mach to 27 Mach and keep it stable during the 18,000-kilometer flight at altitudes ranging from 100 to 500 kilometers. The Sarmat penetrates the highest layers of the atmosphere, and when it reaches its target, the nuclear warheads glide towards their targets in a way that the enemy cannot anticipate or guess the strike. Depth look at Sarmat Missile. Sarmat is 35.3 meters long and 3 meters wide and weighs about 208 tons, of which about 10 tons is the weight of the warheads it carries. The difficult figure for this missile is the speed, which is between 20 to 27 Mach and more than 25,000 kilometers per hour. And to clarify further, the missile can cover the distance between the two ends of the planet from the North Pole to the South Pole in only 50 minutes, making it the undisputed leader of the hypersonic missiles. Sarmat missiles are launched from ground-based platform, mounted on an 8x8 wheeled vehicle with full propulsion, and Russia is designing a model that can be launched from railroads for deployment in polar and frozen regions such as the Siberian desert. Why NATO missile shield can't shoot down Sarmat? Sarmat does not need complex stealth systems such as passive radars or anti-radiation systems. Its hypersonic speed creates an enormous pressure of air in front of the missile's head, creating a cloud known as plasma cloud that shields the missile from radar waves, radiation and active electro-optical guidance missiles, making it a highly stealthy stealth missile. This monster is guided by two guidance systems of the simplest and most efficient systems. The first is inertial system, where computer integrated into the missile structure reads and analyzes the data received from the sensors of temperature, speed, height, acceleration and balance gyroscope in order to determine its location automatically and without being intercepted or jammed by radar systems or early warning aircraft. And this system helps maintain the highest possible hit accuracy. The second system is the Russian satellite map system GLONASS, which is similar to the global navigation system GPS. Background history. The name Sarmat symbolizes the Sarmatian peoples, a group of ancient Iranian cavalrymen believed to have lived in the Pontic-Caspian steppes of southern Russia and Ukraine from the 3rd century BC to the 4th century AD, known for their advanced culture. NATO categorizes the Sarmat missile as an SSX-29 or 30, but Western media outlets often call it the Devil 2. Likely because of the term's terrifying association with suffering. Name Devil 2 actually comes from an earlier NATO designation of the Russian intercontinental ballistic missile, the Voyevoda, as the Devil, the most powerful, dangerous and deadly missile on Earth. A missile system that Sarmat was intended to replace, but was never used by the Russian military. As we said at the beginning, Moscow began its development project in 2014. With the worsening of the Ukrainian war and the continued US support for Kiev, Russian President Vladimir Putin surprised his enemies during the graduation ceremony of a new batch of military college graduates by officially announcing that the Sarmat or RS-28 heavy missiles have entered service and that his country's army will deploy Sarmat missiles. His army will soon deploy Sarmat missiles so that they are ready to carry out combat missions at any time. And the Ugorsky missile unit in Krasnoyarsk is preparing to arm the main missile regiment with the new Sarmat missile system. It is likely that Russian industrial complexes have delivered about 50 versions of the Sarmat to the Russian military, which makes nuclear dominance a Russian advantage, according to the Federation of American Scientists. According to the Federation of American Scientists, Russia has a total stockpile of 5,077 nuclear warheads, the largest in the world. In contrast, the United States has 5,428 nuclear warheads, France has 290 nuclear warheads, while the United Kingdom has only 225, and about 90% of all nuclear warheads are owned by Russia and the United States. And you, dear viewer, what is your assessment of the capabilities of the Sarmat Devil? In your opinion, can US defenses shoot it down? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel.